Number 1, sign Carlos Correa to a 10-year, $300 million deal. It's time for the Yankees to act like the Yankees again. Their goal for this past year was to stay below the $210 million tax threshold, which they did, and I don't have a problem with that. It's a good business decision, but now that the tax is reset, there's no excuse not to spend like the financial empire that you are. Now, initially, I had Corey Seager as the move to make it shortstop, but obviously he just signed with Texas for over $300 million, which I do have to acknowledge and admit that I was wrong. I saw no chance that Seager would get over $300, but he did, and on the flip side, I have no problem with the Yankees not being the ones to give him that money. But now, it's time to fully turn our attention to Carlos Correa. Now, of course, the elephant in the room with Correa is, are the Yankees willing to move past the cheating scandal, which I've gone on at length about, but reports are conflicting. Some say certain Yankee players are still way too cold towards Correa, while Brian Cashman himself said Correa's past is not going to be a factor this free agency. The way I feel is this: if Aaron Judge and the rest of the team despise Correa enough that they truly want nothing to do with him, then from a clubhouse standpoint, I got no problem with that. However, if the ultimate reason that Carlos Correa is our shortstop or not next season comes down to the Yankees' willingness to commit big money to him, then I will be legitimately embarrassed for the franchise. Correa is an elite talent that doesn't come too often at this position, from being drafted first overall in 2012 to being legitimately compared to the talents of Alex Rodriguez to now putting up a 6-WAR season with elite defense. On paper, at 27 years old, Carlos Correa is everything you'd want in a free agent. Cashman said shortstop is a top priority this offseason, so they have to get someone. I'm all set on Correa, but there is another option I wouldn't hate, which is Trevor Story. A short-term, high AAV deal could be a perfect match, as the Yankees could bridge the gap to Anthony Volpe, while Story can reboost his value for another try at free agency a couple years from now. Regardless of which one they get, though, this allows the Yankees to trade one of their top-flight shortstop prospects in Anthony Volpe or Oswald Peraza, leading me into Number 2, acquire Matt Olson and Frankie Montas from the Oakland A's. As we enter the beginning of the MLB lockout, all we know regarding the Yankees and Oakland's very likely fire sale is that they're interested. Brian Cashman is on the record saying first base is an area he'd like to upgrade if possible. And with Matt Olson rotting in Oakland awaiting a new team, it's a no-brainer. Make this guy a Yankee. The 27-year-old played in 156 games this past season and put up the best numbers of his career, hitting .271 with a .371 on base, 39 homers, a 146 WRC+, and it all came from the left side of the plate. He'd also be a huge upgrade over Luke Voit defensively, as since 2019, Olson leads all first basemen in defensive runs saved. Now, as for Frankie Montas, I believe the Yankees pitching staff is set up to be one of the best in the league in 2022, but that's only if they get one more established starter. If I'm acquiring Olson, I'm also going hard after Montas as well. Over 32 starts, the 28-year-old put it all together with a 13-9 record, a 3.37 ERA, 207 strikeouts, and a WAR over 4. If a deal were to be made, I see Montas serving as a strong number 3 starter behind Garrett Cole and Luis Severino come October. And what's great about Olson and Montas is that they're under control through the 2023 season, meaning the Yankees would have them for not 1, but 2 seasons. And to me, that's huge. It essentially extends our window as a possible World Series contender for at least another couple of years. And since we have Correa, Oakland can receive Oswald Peraza as a headliner of prospects in return. Number 3, acquire Brian Reynolds from the Pirates. Let me start by saying I think the world of Aaron Hicks when healthy. In 2018, when he played 137 games, he was a 5-WAR player. Unfortunately, though, it's hard to consider him reliable, which is probably why Brian Cashman is in the market for a center fielder, which is where we enter Brian Reynolds. The 26-year-old is under control for the 2025 season and is everything the Yankees need. He's athletic, plays a great center field, is a switch hitter, and absolutely rakes. He debuted for the Pirates in 2019 and hit .314 with an .880 OPS and a 130 WRC+. This past year in 2021, he broke out even further with a .302, .390, .522 slash line with 24 homers, 90 RBIs, a 142 WRC+, and a WAR of 6. Brian Cashman said both that he wants to improve in center field and that he wants to make the Yankees more athletic. Brian Reynolds, he's a clear place to start. Now, what I'm willing to give up in return, it almost definitely will shock you. And if you follow me on Twitter at Dan Allen Rourke, you probably know where I'm going here. I'm willing to give up Jason Dominguez for Reynolds.
What?
Before you freak out, let me remind you that prospects are very risky. Reynolds is a sure thing, proven production. If Dominguez ever turns out to be capable to be a 6-WAR player, that'd be a huge win. With that said, you can go get the player you hope Jason turns out to be right now by getting Reynolds. It's time to stop prospect hugging, especially guys. Remember, Greg Bird, he was supposed to be Matt Olson, and look where we are now. My new rule is this: pick one prospect and move on, and for me, that guy's Anthony Volpe. He's untouchable as far as I'm concerned. The rest of the guys, we're going to have to put him on the table. All right, guys, real quick, a brief interruption before we get to the last one. I just want to let you know about our sponsor over here at Yankees Avenue, which, as usual, is Manscaped. Guys, it's the holiday season, and you may not know what to get as a gift or a stocking stuffer. Well, fortunately, Manscaped, they've got you covered. They're the leaders in men's below-the-waist grooming, and they've served more than 4 million men worldwide. And you can get Manscaped with my code for 20% off. Code YANKSAV, go to manscaped.com, get 20% off plus free shipping. Guys, their best product by far, I have it myself, is the Performance Package 4.0. Inside, you'll find their lawnmower body trimmer, which you can use literally everywhere, the Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, and we can't forget about their famous liquid formulations, the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant and the Crop Reviver Ball Toner to maximize your ball hygiene routine. And guys, it definitely doesn't stop there. They're releasing new products, it seems, by the week. They got the 2-in-1 shampoo plus conditioner. I have that myself. It's dope. They got the Manscaped cologne. I also use it. They got body wash. They got a nail kit. They got crop mops, ball wipes for your stacky balls, as they put it. They got everything, guys. So you can either use it for yourself, get it for yourself, or if you want to get it for somebody else, it's a perfect stocking stuffer gift. Use my code YANKSAV at manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping. That's code YANKSAV for 20% off plus free shipping. And let's get back to the video. Number 4, sign Aaron Judge to an extension and name him captain. For years, Aaron Judge has been wrongly labeled as injury prone. If he never takes a fastball to the wrist in 2018, he'd have played 145 plus games 2 out of the 3 seasons. It was strongly overblown, and he proved that in 2021 with an MVP caliber year. He played in 148 games and hit .287 with a .373 on base, a .544 slugging, 39 home runs, 98 RBI, and a .148 WRC+, and he had a WAR of 6. And not only does he represent us tremendously on the field, but off the field as well. I've said it before and I'll say it again. He is the reincarnation of Derek Jeter's personality and Alex Rodriguez's talent. He's a superstar and arguably the face of baseball. And while I'm all in on Correa, I don't think you can bring him in for 10 years and then just leave Judge hanging. With 1 year left before free agency, the Yankees need to lock him up, and making him the highest paid position player in baseball at $38 million a year would certainly do the trick. Make it over 6 years, at most 7, and the contract will age quite gracefully. And then, without a doubt, name him the 15th captain in franchise history.